Thank you very much for joining me in this particular video where I want to share with you this concept of how you can master the role of board chair. I want to share with you the responsibilities, best practice, as well as something along the lines of traction, where I will also include certain elements of emotional intelligence. But the whole concept and the whole premise, what I want to do is I want to use the impact model. By the way, I have a whole program on the impact model. I'll speak to you about this later on. But here's the thing. Impact stands for intention, mindset, people, accountability, cost leadership, as well as traction. So I'm going to walk you through this whole system of how you can have all the building blocks of how you can master the role of a chair. First and foremost, I want to share with you the challenges that I see very many chairperson facing. And the first challenge that I see is it's all to do with this time constraint. Because we're bombarded with so much information and we are supposed to make this informed decision. And by the way, it doesn't matter whether you're a startup, small, medium or large company, it doesn't matter, because this is applicable to any size of company, irrespective of whether you have board meetings. But I'm sure you would be having certain strategic, collaborative meetings in your particular outfit, depending on the size and complexity of your organization. But this is applicable to all companies. And I always say that every company must have a loosely defined governance structure. It doesn't matter the size, but the loosely defined governance structure is very important. And I'll explain in this video why that is important. When it comes to board meetings, chair people are sort of confined within certain parameters. And there are certain decisions which have to be made within that particular time period itself. And along the lines, there are certain distractions. I'll tell you some of the distractions that I've noticed in this particular company was that there was a lot of discussions going into short-term thinking. That linkage was missing, basically. So that was a key challenge that companies really face, and they can't really make the decisions on a timely basis. The second challenge is relevance. What do I really mean by relevance? Relevance is keeping up to date with what has evolved over the time. We are in 2025 and things have completely changed altogether. The role of the board chair has completely changed, and so has the role of directors, non-executive directors, as well as CEOs and executives. So the relevance factor is very important. And in very many instances, I still see this learning and development and keeping pace with the global changes is sometimes a key concern for very many businesses, and this is a key challenge which I see. The third one, which is quite common in many instances where I've come across, and that is lack of contribution. Some members and some directors do not contribute enough, or maybe they are not even fully authentic in some instances. And the chair has a difficult time trying to ensure everybody contributes. So these are some of the challenges which I've noticed in very many businesses. And again, all this is leading to a drag in performance. It's leading to a complete drain of energy. It's heavy on the resources of the company itself. So these are some of the challenges I wanted to share. But let's just shift gears. I want to share with you the biggest opportunities that I see right now for all companies. And if you're a chairperson, this is the best moment to really leverage everything. And we all know about digitization and AI and machine learning itself, because artificial intelligence has completely taken over a huge chunk of the back-end activities that were there in the past. But at the same time, it's becoming more and more intelligent and supporting in the decision-making process. In fact, there are companies in Hong Kong. There's this one particular company. They've got an AI by the name of Vital, which is in their board. And I believe even in Saudi Arabia, they've got an AI who's now a member of the board. So imagine where the world is moving towards. So this is the biggest opportunity. The second big opportunity is this remote working. And post-pandemic, it's completely a different perspective altogether. You can tap into resources any part of the world. Before, we used to have this brain drain and have all these challenges many businesses used to face. But right now, you can convert those challenges into opportunities and have even executives and directors and company accountability partners, like I'm a company accountability partner, who can help you to scale up your business or grow, or give you those building blocks to really move to another level. So this concept of having those remote resources can truly add a lot of value in your particular company. And the third one, which is very important, is we know that collaboration is important. We know that cross collaboration is important. But now, the concepts of co-creation has come into play as well. So you can co-create, and we know that with synergy, it's no longer 1 + 1 is 3, but we know 1 + 1 is 11, especially with the supporting artificial intelligence and the integration that we have out there. And now what's happening is, it's also no longer just about ChatGPT or SaaS programs. Now you have this convergence of technologies as well. And by the way, if you want to learn more about this, and if you want to join my program, then the link below our program, which is called the Impact Transformation Program, and you also get access to becoming a high-performing director in that particular program, and also becoming a high-performing chair. So there's a program, you can check it out. It's got an award from the Green Light Status Award from the UK Trade and Investment. So do check it out. But these are the biggest opportunities out there. Now, my dear friends, I now want to talk about the impact model itself and how we can apply the impact model when it comes to chairing meetings. So these are board level meetings, by the way. And again, impact stands for intention, mindset, people, accountability, cost leadership, as well as traction. So that is what the whole impact model is all about. And by the way, if you like this video, please like, subscribe, comment to this video, because I'll be rolling out more of the videos which are going to be impact driven as we move forward. So I press upon you to please like, subscribe, comment, and hit the notification bell on my channel, because you'll find a lot of value in my videos, I believe, and also from the feedback that I get from very many of you. Okay, so let's move into the impact model itself. So the I stands for intention. What is the intention of the chair of a board? That is the first thing that you need to really ask. Now, the intention is obviously leadership. Leadership comes first. And by the way, leadership is all about influence. And influence comes when you make an impact. And you can make an impact when you have the competencies. And when are you competent? Is when you have the confidence. So it's all linked. So leadership is very important. As a chair, you need to have that leadership. You need to be assertive, but at the same time, you need to respect and recognize everybody's views. That is the core intention. The second intention is making sure you have the right oversight mechanisms. There are 4 monitoring mechanisms. I'm not going to go into the details. It's in my program, by the way. But the fact of the matter is, make sure there is clarity when it comes to oversight. And the third one is strategic alignment, which means that you need to make sure that all the discussions are aligned to the strategy of the company. So that is the I. Let's move to M. And for me, mindset, my dear friends, mindset plays a pivotal role. It plays an instrumental role. It's critical to the growth of your company. So you got the leadership. Now step into collaborative leadership. So it's all about collaborative leadership, which means deep engagement. It means having that deep engagement with all the team members and making sure that you recognize everybody's views as a chairperson. The second one is strategic thinker. So the mindset has to be one which is at that 10,000 feet or 50,000 feet, but connected to ground level. So that strategic thinker, being a strategic thinker, is a core element in whatever you do. Now, why is strategic thinker very important? Because that is going to lead to the board members being forward thinkers, which is very important. So having that forward thinking mindset is very important. And the third one is adaptability, being open to ideas. I did a workshop recently on this impact model back in East Africa, and one thing that I noted when I met quite a few business leaders is that they were holding on. So you need to be very careful. You need to adapt. You need to be agile. You need to take certain risks as well. So the mindset has to change, and you need to. I always give this analogy about climbing a mountain. That we all are looking into how we can progress to excellence. And one of the things is we are climbing a mountain, slippages are going to happen, but that doesn't mean that we just stop there. We need to keep on climbing, and we have to pivot wherever possible or look for all alternatives as we climb the mountain. Similarly, you need to have that openness. You need to take those risks as well moving forward. Let's move to the next element, which is people. And again, people is a core aspect in any business. Your highest leverage is your people. And again, you need to make sure that diversity, equality, and inclusivity, whatever your business is, wherever you are, the one thing that you want is constructive feedback. You want the constructive discussions. You need to have that dynamism in place. And dynamism can only come in play when the whole board have this collective intentions in place. Whatever your purpose is, whatever it is with your company, that alignment has to be there. So purpose, vision, values, you need to have a complete core alignment. And if you have that alignment in place and having that compelling purpose, like I say, you will see that the constructive discussions will be taking place, and you'll be able to get more effective decisions in the process. The other thing I want to talk about people is, it all starts with the tone at the top, as we know. And what you need to do is empathy, my dear friends, empathy. I press upon you to have that empathetic leadership, being empathetic with all the members of the board itself. Let's move to A, where we are talking about regulatory compliance. So again, even if you're a small, medium, large organization, it doesn't matter. But that regulatory compliance plays an important role. Whether it's with the tax department or other regulations, you need to ensure that there is clear compliance, because that forms the accountability. So A stands for accountability, and this is why it is very important to ensure that you have this compliance in place. The other thing is oversight. And again, having the right oversight mechanisms are very important, and it has to be clear. So you need to make sure there is clarity in all the sort of feedback mechanisms that you have, all the oversight mechanisms. That is going to define and it is going to refine your policies along the way. Now, small and medium companies, they normally don't like the word policies. I see them not using policies. And wherever I go as an accountability partner, I call them blueprints. And you don't need to have pages and pages of policies. You can have clearly well-articulated blueprints in place, which would form a holistic and cohesive system for any company. So look into having those sort of blueprints in place. And SP stands for succession planning. We all know part of accountability is ensuring that you have the right pipeline of talent moving forward and future-ready leaders as you move forward. So that is the accountability element. We then go into C, of the impact model, which is cost leadership. Cost leadership. Everything that you do has to have that cost efficiency in place, which means you have to optimize resource allocation. You need to make sure there is this allotment of the right resources. The other thing is having those budget approvals. But again, it has to be meaningful budgets that you have in place that you are going to approve. And return on investment, ROI stands for return on investment. And ROT stands for return on time. A return on executive time is very important. This is why I spoke about challenges and I was speaking about the distractions very many face. So you need to make sure you optimize the return on time, because the company is basically investing in the resources that you have, in the people out there. And this is why you need to make sure that you optimize the return on time. And finally, my dear friends, I want to talk to you about traction. Traction is all about preparedness. Just like Louis Pasteur said, chance favors the prepared mind. So under traction, what happens is I want to share a couple of tools and strategies. And one of them is that make sure that you have those papers, the board papers well in advance, 10 days, 14 days, again, depending on the size and complexity of your particular company, but it has to be well in advance. The second one is having those offline conversations with board members as well. If they have any questions, if there's anything they need to interact. And this can be before the board meeting itself. The third one is connecting the dots itself. So make sure all the discussions, everything, the agenda itself, you have a clear-cut agenda in place, which is impact-driven. And finally, a chairperson's duty is to be supportive and making sure that he or she answers to any questions or any concerns and ensures that there is no conflict of interest, and there's that conflict resolution as well, which takes place. So I just wanted to give you a broad brush picture on mastering the board chair role as such. And I hope these points gives you a different perspective, a different insight to help you both navigate through these turbulent times and forge forward. And I look forward to seeing you in the next video.